Welcome back to Gaming Demon. Today we're diving deep into one of the most anticipated open-world action-adventure games coming in 2025, Crimson Desert. Developed by Pearl Abyss, the studio behind the MMO giant Black Desert Online. What started off as a spin-off has now evolved into a fully fledged standalone experience that blends high-octane combat, expansive exploration, and rich lore into a visually jaw-dropping world. Set in the war-torn continent of Pywall, Crimson Desert puts you in the boots of mercenary leader Cliff McDuff, a battle-hardened warrior facing both internal conflict and external threats. The story promises to deliver a gritty, emotional journey filled with betrayal, power struggles, and survival. A refreshing focus for players craving more character-driven narratives in open-world games. But it's not just the story that's got people talking, it's the gameplay and presentation that really stand out. Crimson Desert runs on Pearl Abyss's brand new Black Space Engine, a powerhouse designed in-house to bring next-gen fidelity to life. This engine flexes real-time global illumination, dynamic weather changes, volumetric clouds, physically accurate water systems, and hair and cloth simulations that respond to the environment. During the latest Summer Game Fest showcase, the demo revealed dynamic lighting across a wide variety of environments, from golden plains to bustling medieval towns and eerie ruins. The visual fidelity is stunning, rivaling games like Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, and even Final Fantasy XVI. What's most impressive is that the game is reportedly optimized to deliver this graphical quality at 4K 60 FPS on even mid-range hardware, which is a huge promise if Pearl Abyss can deliver. The combat system is arguably the most exciting and innovative feature. Unlike traditional action RPGs that rely on slow-paced mechanics or repetitive combos, Crimson Desert brings something fresh with its fluid, cinematic, and extremely tactile combat. Cliff is no ordinary fighter. He can chain together grounded strikes, air combos, parries, grapples, and flashy finishers using a mix of traditional weapons and a supernatural ability called Axiom Force. This system allows for explosive attacks that momentarily suspend enemies midair or even manipulate the battlefield's gravity. You can knock enemies into walls, throw objects at them, or use the environment creatively, like triggering falling pillars or setting traps. In many ways, it feels like a mashup of God of War's weighty brutality with the flair of Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden. Previewers at Summer Game Fest were blown away by how responsive the controls felt, although some noted the sheer intensity of the visuals could be overwhelming at times, especially for new players. Still, the spectacle is undeniably thrilling. Now let's talk about traversal, another area where the game shines. Cliff isn't just running and jumping, he's gliding through the air with magical wings, dashing across rooftops, climbing mountains, and grappling between ledges. It's designed to keep players constantly moving with style and momentum. The traversal system feels like a hybrid of Assassin's Creed, Just Cause, and Zelda Breath of the Wild, offering you full freedom to explore the world vertically and dynamically. And it's not just for getting around. The way movement ties directly into combat creates a fluid, action-packed experience where battles can break out anywhere and at any time, especially during side missions, ambushes, and open-world encounters. Speaking of the open world, while the recent showcase focused more on combat, earlier previews and developer diaries teased a richly layered continent filled with cities, factions, NPCs, and dynamic events. Weather systems change gameplay conditions, and towns bustle with life rather than feeling like static set pieces. Pearl Abyss also hinted at systems like mount taming, fishing, resource gathering, and reputation building, all of which will play into how the world reacts to you. The game isn't going full survival or sim mode, but it is adding just enough depth to give you a reason to slow down and engage with the world beyond just combat. Despite the massive scope, there are still some rough edges to polish. Feedback from early hands-on demos pointed out camera control issues in tight areas, minor UI clutter, and the need for better tutorialization during complex boss encounters. But the devs have been actively showcasing improvements and still have several months of development left. With a planned release window of late 2025, possibly December, there's ample time for refinement, optimization, and final tuning. Community reactions so far have been largely positive, with fans praising the game's bold mechanics and next-gen presentation. The only real concern is whether the game can maintain performance and stability across all platforms, especially consoles. If Pearl Abyss can avoid the pitfalls of many visually ambitious titles, like long load times, bugs, or shallow gameplay loops, Crimson Desert could genuinely become a genre-defining title. And let's not forget the studio's MMO roots. They know how to build massive, persistent worlds. And while Crimson Desert is a single-player experience, it still carries that grand-scale DNA. To sum it up, Crimson Desert is a fusion of stunning tech, dynamic gameplay, and immersive world-building. It's not trying to copy anyone. It's trying to carve out its own identity in a sea of open-world games. And it just might succeed. If you've been craving an RPG that blends action, fantasy, freedom, and next-gen visuals, keep your eyes on this one. Whether you're here for the combat, the exploration, or the narrative, this game has something bold to offer. And if it delivers even half of what it promises, it could be the biggest sleeper hit of 2025. So what do you think? Does Crimson Desert look like your kind of game? Are you hyped for the combat, the visuals, or the exploration? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe to Gaming Demon for more deep dives into the future of gaming.